Hi guys, my name's Dakota and this is going to be a new thing. Oh, and this is Ellie, who's decided to sit on my lap. Alright, so I was kind of inspired by like the Joyful Miles group and some other ones out there who do like race recaps and vlogging of races and stuff like that. Running and racing and everything else since about September 2012. Nothing like too serious. I enlisted in the Air Force November of 2012, so fitness has become kind of a mandatory thing. Not as fit, obviously, right now as I'd like to be, and that is, I'm going to kind of touch and talk on that a little bit more. So why don't I get started with all my medals. My first race I ever did, first thing I ever got into was mud run races. So my first one I did, cool little one, Racing Humans. It was a race back home in Houston, Texas, and it was a mud run. It was 5K. It was free for me because my recruiter was like, hey, we're getting a bunch of people down. It was like mandatory for the guys who were trying to be like special forces and stuff. And I'm like, that sounds like fun. I was one of two people who were not going into these spec ops jobs. And then I was the only female that showed up. Second one, I was in tech school, so training for my job. And a bunch of us from our class we wanted to do another mud race. We loved those, and we heard it. I heard about one, and I was like, guys, we should do this. So we all drove up to Dallas, and we did the Run for Your Lives series. And sadly, this does not exist anymore, and I wish it did. It was such a fun race. So outside of like long distances, I did a competition when I was a student at the Air Force Academy Prep School, and it was a CrossFit competition. So it's a little fun one, and it has a funny story. So it says I have first place, but again, me being me, you'll figure this out. I go into things completely unprepared. And so I went into that knowing I was going to be in the scale division, which technically you weren't supposed to be able to place and get the prizes for, which was a small prize. It was like a $25 gift card to like the local BX, the base store. So I show up. One, I'm the only enlisted personnel who signed up for this, which is really bad. There was one other cadet. Technically, as a prep school student, I was still enlisted. And then I was the only female. So I won by default. And they said, even though I was doing the scaled ones, and then even then, some of they took, like my judge, she was taking off weight. She was like, we're just letting you finish. We're just making sure you finish because this is a pride thing for you. It was everything. It was like 7 different events over like 4 hours. And it was everything from, you started off, if those who do CrossFit, or just look it up, I'll probably put it below, but we started the event with Fran. That was the start, and then we did a little bit of a break, and then while you were doing your breaks, you could go and do your floater workouts, which were like a vertical jump, a swim, and then like 3 other things, and then we ended with a workout in the gym. So it was like a run back and forth with a rower and then wall balls. And so now let's go into what's next on my agenda. Alright, next we're going to talk about some virtual races I've done. I've only done 2. One was the Hogwarts Running Club 9 3/4 kilometer run, spinner, and then the back. It's themed. I don't know the whole thing. You're not supposed to like share the back of them. I don't know. Since it's the 3rd year, it was based off of the 3rd book. It's a nice little thing. You know, it's $25 to do this, and you get a printout bib. I don't print them out, so for my squadron, we do 3-mile runs when it's warm out every Friday or Thursday or Friday. So I just do 2 weeks of that and considered it because you can split them up. And then this one's probably my favorite virtual run. This was a 5K. I love mermaids. Mermaids are my favorite things. I love mermaids. I want to be a mermaid. I wish I could be. So she believed she could, so she did. Now, on to the first of my first half marathon. The 2014 Shamrock Half Marathon. Complete with a little pop top because it's a St. Patty's Day, so obviously there's got to be some sort of alcohol reference involved. And sadly, I was not 21 when I did this. I was 19 when I did that one. 19, right? Yeah, I was about to turn 20 the next month. So I couldn't even drink the beer, and then in Virginia Beach, because it's a local run, it's a decent popularity run, and it's a Boston qualifier for the full. Hi. All right, come here. Sit. Come on. Oh, we're gonna edit this out. So, but oh god. All right. Go lay down. So, a really, really good race. It's a down and back, so it's kind of boring, but it's not a whole lot of elevation. Minor elevation. So that my friend who I've done races since with, we were stationed together, and she goes, we're talking about it at work, and she did all these races, and I'm like, man, that sounds like so much fun, because I had already wanted to do a Run Disney race, and later on we ended up doing a Run Disney race together, but I was just like, man, I want to do one so bad, and she's like, yeah, I want to do a race, because she was talking about half marathon. She's like, you know what, you should do the Shamrock with me. This was about at this time, 2013. So like end of December 2013. I'm like, man, I should. So I sign up right after New Year's, and of course, right after New Year's, the price bumps. So it was like $125 for it, and now I wouldn't pay that much just for a local race after Disney standards. But for the medal, it's pretty nice. And you get an after party sponsored by Yingling, and I do love their beer. But so we're going and everything else, and I didn't know what, I had never even heard about 30-30 pacing or whatever, or intervals, and she's like, let's just go. So we go and we run 8 miles without stopping. Before that, I had literally only ran maybe 5 miles without stopping before, and that was in basic training with somebody yelling at me the entire time. And that was, again, just in a weird interval pacing, stuff like that for basic training, because it's just how we ended. If you've been through Air Force basic training, you understand that type of pacing. But 8, sit. So we get to mile 8, and I heard it being on my phone. I was like, oh, okay. And it's my sister, and she said something to me, and I got a text from somebody else, and it like threw me. Hey, stop it. So we go, and she got a cramp because she had just, 2 weeks before had gone to Mardi Gras. So she was not where she needed to be hydration-wise. I did not train whatsoever. Literally 2 weeks before this race, I was like, oh crap, I have a half marathon in 2 weeks. My boyfriend's like, so you're not doing said half marathon? I didn't train. 2 weeks before, I remember I had the race. And then I was consistently going to CrossFit 2 to 3 times a week. Or no, about 3 to 4 with my boyfriend. I was leaning out a lot. I'll probably put some pictures up of me during my race. It was a lot of fun. Mile 8, she got a cramp in her hamstring, so I was running in place, and I guess it just, in my head, it made me weird, and I just stopped running in place, and it all just kind of mentally just like sunk in, saying, you've done 8 miles. You still have 5.1 to go. I was like, ew, shit. So her and I, she's like, you know what, this is your first race, just go, we'll meet up at the end. I'm like, all right. God was looking out for me because my chip time with never training for a half marathon before anything was 3:07. what? No, I run more than I did then, and I haven't been able to hit that yet. Hey, you can do races again. Would you like to do a Run Disney race with me? Because that was our, like in high school, we saw videos of it, everything else. When we first got Instagram, we saw According to Kelly on from Team Sparkle and stuff like that. And we're like, oh my gosh, we want to do a Run Disney race. So we signed up, and February this year, because you had to sign up 6 months in advance. She was working that day, and we ended up, two of our other friends wanted to do it. So I was off. I was on leave while I was in the middle of PCSing. Permanent change of station. Sorry, I'm gonna learn you up on some military vernacular. But I'm at home, and for those who remember this year of Princess, it was about an hour and a half when it completely, all races filled up. All 4 of us just wanted to do the half. We weren't doing a challenge, anything like that. I wish I would have done the glass slipper, but that's beside the point. I was able to successfully create and register 4 separate women. That is unheard of within that time. So this is the beautiful medal from this year's Princess Half Marathon. We didn't end up getting it engraved, so I ran that with my sister, and that was her first half. But I got the bug. I was like, I want to do a challenge. I saw all the girls walking around with like their 3 medals, and I was like, I want the challenge so bad. So I'm going and I'm looking on Instagram and everything else, and then I see some really great content from Kelsey's Hope. I was like, man, I think I want to do a charity run. So I decided to sign up for the Wine and Dine that same year. You know, had I wished I would have done the Avengers, probably just so I could have gotten my coast to coast, but I'm really glad I ended up doing the Wine and Dine because I have some really special medals from it. So contacted them. I was like, I really want to work with you guys. I'm super excited. I want to do this. And I'm that annoying person that I email, and I'm like, oh, I want to do this all. So they apparently didn't find me super annoying, thankfully. And I got to register for the challenge with them. So my first with them was the beautiful, ginormous inaugural 10K. Remy, this is disgustingly big. Let me put this in perspective. This is a half marathon. You can't see it. You can see it. That's, oh. I got done with a 10K. I was like, oh yeah, I could totally be happy with the medal I got from that. So the next morning we woke up, and then we did the Wine and Dine half. And this course, boring. I love Run Disney, do not get me wrong, and I'm doing the same race again because it fits my schedule. I loved going through Animal Kingdom. It was great. The only sucky thing was it was really, really cramped, and with my interval timing, I could not run with those people around. It was really bad race etiquette. That back stint out of Animal Kingdoms, because you get out past, you know, I will go further into my race recap on that. But nevertheless, the end, I enjoyed the race, but it wasn't my favorite race, to say the least. Our favorite course it could have been. So for doing both of those and signing up, I got the Lumiere 2-course inaugural challenge, which if you go and you do it in the dark, his flames glow in the dark. So super cool. And because I did the race through Kelsey's Hope, and Kelsey's Hope is amazing. If you ever, I'm going to post every single thing that they have in the links below. I wish everyone could participate or donate or anything. It's a charity that helps for children's cancer, and they help provide scholarships to nurses and future nurses, and for someone who wants to be a nurse. and I don't think I have enough of a strong heart to work in children's oncology. I wish I did, but if I could, I would. Oh, I love it. So they do a special Kelsey's Hope. My favorite. Right here. So, with all my medals, what am I going to do next? Alright guys, we just did the math. I am projected at 22 medals next year and 1 Tough Mudder headband. So as you can see, this spanned from 2013 on. I am going to almost double in 1 year. Why? Because I bit the bug. So, training from now on. I'm going to do the training plans that are on the websites, along with Tough Mudder has one, so I can work on upper body strength and for the obstacles. For Christmas yesterday, my parents so wonderfully got me a Apple Watch, which has amazing apps that are built in for working out, so that I can control my music on here. I can get better pacing, heart rate. If you guys want, you know, let's do this thing together this year, see where we go. I'm going to be recording my training as accountability for you guys, and I'm going to post race recaps more in detail of my Disney races for my princess and then my wine and dine, so you guys can get a really good thing of that. Comment below what you want me to see. I want this to be a community thing so that you guys can see from an average person, Joe Schmo, 22-year-old perspective. I hope you guys like it, and it's gonna be a lot of fun.